I am Emilia Strilchuk, the creator of Oriana, the Forgotten Deities, and you're listening to True North Country Comics Podcast.
Welcome to the True North Country Comics Podcast, dedicated to promote Canadian comic book and graphic novel creators and supporters. I'm John Swinimer. On this episode, I chat with Emilia Strilchuk about her new Kickstarter comic book series, Oriana, the Forgotten Deities. Please like and subscribe to this website by hitting the subscribe button, so you'll be notified about new podcast interviews and article posts. This podcast is available wherever podcasts are enjoyed. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Emilia Strilchuk is a comic artist and writer, born and raised in Ukraine, and migrated to Canada about 10 years ago. She currently resides in Ontario with her partner and 2 cats. Emilia takes inspiration from her personal experiences from around the world to create artworks that can be relatable and can bring people some joy and comfort. She's created a zine called Gently, a sketch collection, and gentle tips for artists and creators. Last year, Emilia published her autobiographic novel, Be Yourself, Oh, Not Like That. Her latest project is a comic book series on Kickstarter entitled Oriana, the Forgotten Deities. The story of Oriana, the Forgotten Deities goes like this. In a world abandoned by the gods ages ago, their absence robbed humanity of their powers, resulting in devastation and natural calamities, leaving only myths behind. Enter Karolina, a young girl who stumbles upon an ancient secret. Will the delicate balance between the human realm and the realm of magic be restored, just as it existed thousands of years ago? Embarking on a journey of discovery, Karolina finds herself confronted with the unforeseen. Not all is as it seems. So without further ado, here's my chat with Emilia Strilchuk about her new Kickstarter comic book series, Oriana, the Forgotten Deities. So Emilia Strilchuk, thank you very much for taking time to chat with me.
Thank you for having me again.
Oh, I appreciate your time. Before I get going with all the questions, though, I would like to know, what are you reading today?
I just finished reading The Starfire, Teen Titans by Cami Garcia and Gabriel Piccolo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So it's a story about Starfire, her own individual. I believe the previous one was The Beast Boy and the Raven. Not 100% sure.
And this is Starfire from the Teen Titans, right?
Yes, yeah.
Very good. Yeah, a little bit different, I think, from what people normally expected from that character. They had read the comic book, so it's a different take on it, I presume.
Yeah, I think this is more for teens. So Starfire in this has EDS, and it's more for the disabled community. So I really liked it. It was very relatable.
Last year, just to rewind a wee bit, you went to the Thought Bubble Annual Comic Book Festival in Yorkshire, England. And I haven't chatted with you since then, so I want to ask you, how'd it go for you? Did it turn out okay?
Yeah, it was amazing. I met a lot of creators. I met a lot of people. The comics community in the UK is really amazing. Everyone's really friendly. Yeah, a lot of people came by. They were very happy and surprised to see people from US and Canada as well.
Did you get a sense of how things were? Traditionally we say, oh, it's a totally different culture over there and we can't get along. But how did you find it, the creative community? Did you find it was very receptive and warm and that sort of thing?
No, I found it very, very friendly, very warm. Yeah, it was really easy to get along with everyone. I think maybe it's because it's a comics community and people are united, by art and stories. Yeah.
Did you find any new artists over there that sort of stuck out and said, oh, this looks kind of interesting?
There were definitely a lot. So Thought Bubble had 4 gigantic halls with a lot of artists. They had both guests and people that applied to be at the festival. A lot of guests that whose work I admire, that I read their comics and their work. I was able to meet them and chat with them. And then I met some more creators that I've been just sort of following on social media who are smaller creators like me. So it was really nice to see what they do as well. Yeah.
Glad to hear. Now, I'm sure at your table you had your recently published autobiographic graphic novel, Be Yourself, Oh, Not Like That, that came out last year. So I wanted to ask you in general, what sort of reaction have you received from readers since its release and your promotion of the book?
Mm-hmm. So yes, I did have it at Thought Bubble, but the first feedback and first reactions I had from my backers on Kickstarter, because the book originally was on Kickstarter. So I did receive a few messages just thanking, putting the story out in the world, that it was relatable. Some people had more personal messages, which I'll keep to myself, but they were mostly positive. And at Thought Bubble, people that came by and people who got interested in the book were mostly people, parents with teens, that I think they wanted to get a glimpse and probably have the kids to read the book as well. There was a article in Broken Frontier that's UK based. They were covering creators and their stories, that like of the people that were coming to Thought Bubble. So they covered mine, and a lot of people came up because of that article, and they thought they found it very interesting. And they explained what the book was about a little bit, and they're very big in the UK as well about, you know, disability and especially autism. They're very accessible. The festival was very accessible as well. So they thought the book kind of fit perfectly in there as well.
Well, that's great about the feedback. That's tremendous. And now you've got something new to talk about. I understand you have a new comic book called Oriana, the Forgotten Deities. So I wonder if you could talk a wee bit about that and what it's all about.
So, this story is a modern Slavic mythology retelling. It follows a girl. Her name is Karolina, and she finds an ancient secret that can change how the world is shaped right now. In this world, the ancient gods have abandoned the earth, and that causes sort of calamities and chaos happen on Earth. So it follows this sort of, I want to say, not a typical chosen hero and her journey. So the first issue, which right now is on Kickstarter, will introduce the characters, the first couple characters that we'll see, introduce the world, the magical system that's in it. So it will jump into the story, but it will be more of an introduction to everything.
Ah, it sounds very intriguing. And you are doing both the art and the writing for this book, are you not?
Yes, yeah.
Very good. Now, this is on Kickstarter right now at the time we're recording. So, for people who want to back your project, are there any special rewards that you could get?
Yes, I have a few different tiers which you can get a comic either in digital or in print. I also had another artist do a variant cover for me, Fellhound. You probably know her. So you are able to get a variant of my cover or her cover or both. I also have a lot of different stretch goals. If we reach all of the stretch goals, people will get things like, you know, stickers, book plates, other little cool goodies.
That's cool that you're giving stuff back to people who are investing in your project, which is
Mm.
very cool. Now, I know with Kickstarters, you can't really specify when, but are you timing this book with any particular event or festival this year?
I'm aiming this for June. So I don't know yet if I got into TCAF, but if I did, this would probably be the debut for June. If not, it will just be June. I'm hoping to have it ready earlier than that, but with the last one and Canada post strike happening, I'm giving myself a little bit more time for the Kickstarter itself. But if the comic happens earlier, then I'll have it maybe in May.
Cool. Yeah, there are some things out there that are beyond our control, like Canada
Yeah.
Post, but fingers crossed that everything continues on and we're able to get stuff out there. So that's terrific. This is a great project you have on the go now, and it's taking a lot of your time. But do you have any other projects on the go that you can talk about?
For my own personal one, since I want to say mid last year, I've been scripting and outlining another graphic novel. That one's going to be close to maybe 150 pages, so I'm really taking my time with it. I have a working title which might change. It's called right now Second Half. Follows Theo. She is a soccer prodigy and she suffers a career ending injury. So, this story is about her having surgery, rehabilitation, and the main theme of the story is addiction. So, I'm telling a story about this complex family dynamic, pressures, identity that's been taken away, and finding yourself again. But this graphic novel will be for mature audiences, unlike my previous one.
Right. And I presume that's after 2025, something in the future?
Probably, yes. Like I was scripting it since, I want to say summer last year. I started to mostly finish scripting, so I think that will take me longer. I originally thought I could do it in 2025, but I'm really feeling the Oriana and the this comic right now, so I'm putting more effort into this, and I think I will just take my time and see how that one goes.
Exactly, right. Now, you mentioned Toronto Comic Arts Festival. I was going to ask you if you have any other festivals or conventions lined up to appear at this year.
I applied to quite a lot. I'm not going to the Toronto Comic Con this year. Waiting to hear response from, yes, the TCAF Toronto Comics Arts Festival. Right now, the only confirmed I have is the Ontario local one. It's a Bruce County Comic Con in Southampton. Yeah, and still waiting to hear from a lot.
Well, fingers crossed everything goes well. So with everything you've got with all your different projects and Kickstarter and future graphic novels and conventions, where can people go online to find out more about your current and your future plans?
I have a website. It's emiliastrilchuk.com. So my website also has my social links to all of the other accounts. I am on Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok. Everything is under the handle The Art of Emilia. I think I'm most active on Instagram and Blue Sky, but everything is still on my website as well.
Thanks to Emilia for the chat. You can discover more about Emilia online at emiliastrilchuk.com and on Blue Sky at The Art of Emilia. And thank you for tuning in to the True North Country Comics podcast. I invite you to visit True North Country Comics website to listen to more conversations with creators about making comic books and graphic novels. I also encourage you to subscribe via the website so you'll be notified about new podcast interviews and article posts. This podcast is available wherever podcasts are enjoyed. Please like, follow, and subscribe. You can follow along True North Country Comics on most social media sites. And you're encouraged to send any and all feedback to John at truenorthcountrycomics.com. Thanks for tuning in, and come back soon for another episode. Bye for now. True North Country Comics Podcast is copyright True North Country Comics, copyright 2025.